Once upon a time, in the realm where technology meets the human heart, a marvelous journey began. It was a journey to give voices to the silent, to breathe life into the lifeless, and to let the characters of our childhood stories speak with us, not just in imagination, but in reality. This tale is not of ordinary beings, but of digital characters, brought to life through the efforts of clever artisans and storytellers, engineers and visionaries. It was a tale called Nice, where the world of computer games transformed into a playground of conversation, a place where characters like Claudie Hans and Karen could not only listen, but also respond, think, and feel. Every tale needs a map, a guide to help us navigate through the wonders that await. And so, before we embark on this journey, let us take a moment to outline the path we shall follow. We shall begin with the background of this tale, exploring the origins and the partners who came together to weave this story. Then we shall delve into the research issues that challenged our heroes, followed by a description of the system that served as the heart of this magical creation. We will then hear the voices of those who experienced this wonder firsthand in user studies, see the magic unfold in a demonstration, and finally, draw our tale to a close with conclusions that linger like the final note of a song. Long ago, in the early years of the 21st century, wise and clever people from across Europe came together with a dream. They dreamed of a world where machines could tell stories, where technology could make the characters of our childhood come to life. This dream took shape in the form of the NICE system, a grand project that spanned from 2002 to 2005. It was a collaboration between 5 partners, each bringing their unique gifts to the table. Liquid Media from Sweden, Scansoft from Germany, Limsy from France, Telia Sonera from Sweden, and Nislab from Denmark. From their collaboration, 2 enchanting systems emerged: a Swedish fairy tale game that whispered stories of old, and an English storyteller inspired by the beloved tales of Hans Christian Andersen himself. These systems were not just pieces of technology. They were bridges between the world of men and the world of digital beings. Every great tale is wrought with challenges, and the journey of the NICE fairy tale game system was no different. The first challenge was to breathe life into the characters, to give them personalities as varied as the stars in the night sky. Each character had to be autonomous, capable of making decisions, reacting to the world, and conversing in ways that were not just programmed, but felt real. The dialogue capabilities were another challenge. How does one create a conversation that is not only task-oriented, but also rich in social interaction? How does one craft dialogue that can explain, negotiate, instruct, and even walk while talking? The balance between game progression and user control was a delicate dance, one that required understanding the complex ways in which children interact with the world. These challenges were the dragons to be slain, the obstacles to be overcome, in the quest to create a world where characters could converse as naturally as they breathe. In the land of the NICE system, a fairy tale game was born, a game that unfolded in 2 enchanted scenes. The first scene was the room, a place where users could learn the ways of this magical world through a multimodal training session, known as Put That There. The second scene was the fairy tale world itself, where a multi-party negotiation dialogue awaited, filled with characters that seemed to leap off the pages of a storybook. There were 3 main characters in this tale: Claudie Hans, the slow but friendly helper; Karen, the fast and sullen gatekeeper, and Thumbelina, a silent but expressive character whose gestures spoke volumes. These characters were not mere puppets. They were beings with emotions, with desires, with stories of their own. But how does one create such a world? How does one craft a system that can listen, understand, and respond? The answer lies in the heart of the nice system, a system that was as complex as it was magical. The system was built upon several modules, each playing a crucial role in the story. The input modality modules, such as ASR, C automatic speech recognition, and 2D gesture recognition, served as the ears and eyes of the system, allowing it to perceive the world around it. The natural language modules, including NLU, natural language understanding, and the dialogue manager, were the brains, processing the information received and deciding how to respond. Finally, the output modality modules, such as speech synthesis and the game engine, were the voice and body, bringing the characters to life and allowing them to interact with the user in ways that felt natural and seamless. Together, these modules formed the backbone of the NICE system, enabling it to tell stories as old as time, in ways that were entirely new. In the world of the NICE system, words were not just sounds, they were keys that unlocked the gates of interaction. The system was designed to understand a variety of user utterances, each one serving as a different kind of key. Instructions such as "go to the drawbridge" were like commands, directing the characters to perform specific actions. Domain questions like "what is that red object?" sought knowledge, asking the characters to share their wisdom. Giving information, such as "I'm 14 years old," was a way for users to share a piece of themselves, to become a part of the story. There were also negotiating utterances like "what do you want in return?" that opened the door to discussions, confirmations and disconfirmations that affirmed or denied actions, and even requests for help or explanations that sought guidance. Each utterance was a thread in the tapestry of the dialogue, weaving a story that was as interactive as it was engaging. But conversation is a two-way street, and in the NICE system, the characters were not silent partners. They had voices of their own. These characters could respond to instructions with phrases like, "Okay, I'll do that," showing their willingness to help. They could answer questions, revealing pieces of their identity, such as, "I am 30 years old." They could state their intentions, informing the user of their next actions, like, "I'm going to the drawbridge now." The characters were also capable of asking questions themselves, confirmation questions to ensure they understood correctly, clarification questions to seek more information, and even suggestions to guide the user toward a particular course of action. Negotiating utterances allowed them to discuss terms, while explanations provided the reasoning behind their actions. These utterances were not just words. They were the voices of the characters, voices that brought them to life and made the interactions feel genuine and meaningful. At the heart of the NICE system lay the dialogue management, a mechanism that ensured the conversations flowed smoothly, like a well-rehearsed play. This system was built upon a kernel, a common foundation that laid down the basic functionality for all characters. But no two characters are alike, and so the dialogue behavior was modified through scripting code, allowing each character to act and speak in ways that were true to their personality and the situation at hand. The system was also equipped with the ability to handle dialogue events, moments in the conversation that required special attention. These events could be caught by the scene-dependent scripting code, allowing the characters to react appropriately to ensure that the story continued to unfold in a way that felt natural and engaging. In the land of the nice system, conversations were not just about words. They were about actions, about events that shaped the course of the story. The dialogue manager was attuned to a variety of events, each one a signal that something significant had occurred. A broadcast event, for instance, indicated that another character had said or done something that the system needed to be aware of. A gesture event was triggered when an object had been gestured at, prompting the system to recognize and respond to the action. A parser event occurred when the system analyzed the latest user utterance, while a performed event marked the completion of an operation, be it verbal or physical. But not all events were smooth, a recognition failure. Event signaled that the system had failed to understand the user, requiring a different approach. World events and trigger events were the most dynamic, indicating changes in the environment or actions that required immediate attention. Each event was a thread in the fabric of the story, a moment that added the feeling that the characters were aware of objects of interest for the story progression. In the heart of every character within the NICE system, there is a tale of intentions, goals, and conflicts, all managed by the internal dialogue manager. Imagine, if you will, a character like Claudie Hans, whose mind is always abuzz with thoughts and desires. The already satisfied event is like a story that has reached its happy ending. A goal has been achieved, and there is no need to pursue it further. But not all tales end so well. The cannot solve vent is the shadow over our character's heart, an unsolvable puzzle added to their agenda, one that they cannot hope to complete. Yet, even in the midst of these challenges, there are moments of clarity, as signaled by the intention event, where the character knows exactly what they want to do or say. Sometimes, though, the characters find themselves adrift, with no reaction event, where there is nothing on the agenda, no goal to chase, no dream to follow. And then, there are times when conflicting desires wage war within the character's mind, as seen in the possible goal conflict event. Finally, there is the inexorable march of time, the time-out event, reminding us all that some moments are fleeting, and some opportunities once missed are gone forever. But what, you might ask, keeps this delicate dance of goals and intentions in motion? It is the dialogue manager kernel, the silent conductor of this symphony. The kernel interprets each utterance in its context, discerning its meaning with the wisdom of a sage. It conveys dialogue acts, as those magical moments where intentions become words and words become actions. It can also instruct the animated character to perform real actions, like walking to a certain place or picking up an interesting object. The kernel is also the keeper of the character's dreams, adding goals to their agendas or removing them when they are no longer needed. And when one goal is achieved, it finds the next, urging the character to pursue it with all the fervor of a knight on a quest. In this way, the dialogue manager kernel ensures that every character in the NICE system remains active, engaged, and ever in pursuit of their story. In the fairy tale world of the NICE system, the characters are not blind, deaf, or unaware of the passage of time. No, they are equipped with simulated perceptual abilities that bring them closer to life. They hear through auditory perception, responding to the start of speech with attention gestures, as if they were truly listening to the user's every word. Their voices, too, are heard by others, broadcasted to nearby characters, ensuring that no word goes unnoticed. Their eyes, represented by visual perception, see the world around them, reacting to gestures with glances, acknowledging the objects in their path. And then there is the perception of time, that ever-ticking clock that governs their actions, reminding them when to move, when to act, and when to rest. With these abilities, the characters are not just pieces of code. They are beings who perceive, who react, who live in a world that, though virtual, feels as real as any fairy tale kingdom. Ah, the animation system, the magical threads that weave the characters' actions into reality. Imagine a puppet show where the strings are invisible and the puppets move with a life of their own. The animation system is the master puppeteer, but its work is hidden from view. At the heart of this system is the animation handler, which receives requests, such as pick up the axe, and turns them into instructions that the characters can follow. These instructions are passed on to the animation renderer, where they are brought to life in a flurry of movements. The handler manages a queue, ensuring that each action is performed in the correct order, while the renderer executes these actions, transforming them from mere requests into the graceful motions of a living character. Let us step into a moment of action within this enchanted world. The user selects a lamp, a simple object, and instructs cloddy hands to pick it up. But behind this seemingly simple action lies a complex choreography. The gesture recognition module signals the start and end of the gesture, prompting cloddy hands to raise his eyebrows in recognition. His eyes then follow the lamp, acknowledging its selection. As the user speaks, Cloddy's attention shifts to their words, his body turning toward the camera to listen intently. And then, the moment arrives. Cloddy hands, now understanding the request, prepares to pick up the lamp. His face, his body, all come together in a coordinated dance, each movement meticulously planned, each gesture a step in the dance of interaction. The story continues as Cloddy Hands receives the command to pick up the lamp. The dialogue manager conveys this to the animation handler, which in turn instructs Cloddy to say, "I will pick up the lamp." The synthesizer works its magic, generating the sound and syncing it with Cloddy's lips, ensuring that his words are as clear as a spoken promise. As he turns toward the lamp, his body follows suit, each movement deliberate, each action precise. The animation renderer plays the sequence. Cloddy reaches out, grips the lamp, and lifts it from its place. His actions are not merely mechanical. They are the fulfillment of a promise, a response to the user's command, a continuation of the narrative that binds them together. In any good story, characters do not merely act. They feel, they express, they respond to the world around them. In the NICE system, the characters are no different. They display a range of emotions, from the joy of happiness to the sorrow of sadness, from the surprise of the unexpected to the anger of frustration. These emotions are not just for show. They are a window into the characters' hearts, a way for the user to understand their state of mind. And then there are the gestures, subtle cues that convey the characters' thoughts, idle when they are waiting, listening when they are attentive, thinking when they are pondering the next move. There are even gestures that regulate the flow of conversation, signals that indicate when it is the user's turn to speak, or when the character is paying attention. The attention actions are also depending on the current activity of the characters, making them turn to display attention if spoken to while walking in front of the user. These behaviors are not mere animations. They are the soul of the characters, the expressions that make them feel alive, that make them more than just figures on a screen. The characters of the NICE system are not confined to words and expressions alone. They move, they act, they interact with their world in ways that are as varied as the stories they inhabit. From specific body movements, like falling or crossing arms, to general gestures such as turning the head or gripping an object, each action is designed to enhance the story. These movements are not random. They are purposeful, reflecting the character's thoughts, their feelings, their intentions. Whether Claudy Hans is picking up an object, turning to face the user, or simply walking across the scene, his actions are a part of the narrative, a part of the ongoing story that the user helps to create. These physical actions are the threads that weave the character into the fabric of the world, making them a living, breathing part of the story. Behind the magic of the NICE system lies the game engine, the powerful force that drives the entire experience. This engine is a marvel of technology, capable of animating characters with multi-layered bone structures, morphing their meshes to express different emotions, and automatically generating facial animations to match their moods. It controls the character's movements, whether they are walking, running, or simply standing still, and it manages the camera, ensuring that every scene is captured from the perfect angle. The game engine also brings the world to life with physics that make objects behave as they should, 3D audio that immerses the user in the environment, and special effects that add a touch of magic to the scene. Interfaces in XML or Python allow for seamless communication between the different components, making the entire system work like a well-oiled machine. But what is a story without its audience? The true test of the NICE system came when it was placed in the hands of the users, the children and adults who would interact with its characters, explore its world, and bring its story to life. These user studies took place in various settings: a telecommunications museum, a school, a vision center, and even a specially designed NICE room. In each setting, the system was tested by users of different ages, with different backgrounds, and under different conditions. Whether it was a single character in a simple scene, or multiple characters in a complex interaction, the users responded with wonder, with curiosity, with engagement. These studies were not just experiments. They were moments of discovery, where the magic of the NICE system was revealed, not just to the users, but to the creators who had worked so hard to bring it to life. Now we will show one of the interactions where a boy tries to get past a bridge that Karen controls.
Kan du öppna porten åt oss?
Om jag ska fälla ner bron vill jag ha något i gengäld.
Som till exempel...
Jag tyckte jag såg något glittrande falla från himlen samtidigt som den där dynghögen kom rasande.
Hon är svag för mutor.
Leta rätt på det så kan vi diskutera saken.
Okej.
Tjejer gillar väl sånt som glittrar?
Ja.
Prova med lite tingeltangel.
Hämta en sån där grej där nere på marken.
Jag kan bara bära en sak i taget.
Okej, lägg ner yxan. Och hämta den där glittriga saken där.
Vill du att jag ska gå bort till diamanten?
Ja.
Då gör jag väl det. Jag ska gå bort till diamanten. Hon är ett riktigt surkart.
Vad har du att erbjuda?
Jag har en diamant.
Gammalt skrot kan du ta till Mullimäck. Det hör inte hemma här.
Vad vill du då ha påsen där borta?
Har du inget bättre att komma med så får det vara.
Dummer Jöns, går och lämna tillbaka eller släng bara diamanten någonstans så går vi och kollar vad det mer finns.
Okej. Det kanske hon
Vad har du att
lyssnar
komma
på
med?
i alla fall.
Lampa. En lampa.
Nu börjar det likna något.
Kan du öppna bron då?
Inte precis i min smak, men har du inget bättre så. Du får vi komma över bron då.
As our tale draws towards its conclusion, let us reflect on what has been discovered. The children, the young minds, found joy in the game, where the power of speech brought an extra layer of enchantment to their experience, turning a simple game into a living story. The first scene, like the opening of a beloved book, helped the users ease into the tale, guiding them gently into the world of interaction. The users, clever as they are, adapted swiftly. They learned to speak in the language of the characters, using simple phrases and breaking down tasks into manageable steps. Yet, as with all things, not everything was straightforward. Evaluation was no simple matter. User satisfaction, like the fickle weather in a fairy tale, did not always align with the number of tasks completed or the length of interaction. It was a reminder that in the realm of magic and technology, some things cannot be easily measured. In this magical land, the users did not see the characters as mere reflections of the same spell. No, they saw them as distinct beings, each with their own personality and goals. Cloddy Hans, with his kind but sometimes clumsy nature, was seen as both kind and foolish, lazy yet calm. Karen, on the other hand, was swift and smart, with an air of self-confidence that made her a true gatekeeper of the story. The users thought that these characters had different understanding capabilities. These judgments were not based on the understanding capabilities of the underlying system, but on the personality traits each characters portrayed, and how wonderful it was that the characters could influence the users to ask another character to perform game-progressing actions for them. Ah, the signs of a good story are the bonds it creates between its characters and the audience. Here, in the world of the NICE system, these bonds were forged with care and attention. The users, in their interaction, formed alliances, some with Cloddy Hans, others with Karen. They played the game of truth and deceit, showing repentance when accused of the trickery. They lied, they joked, they reacted with politeness or sarcasm, depending on the mood and actions of the character they interacted with. They even took on the role of teacher, lecturing Cloddy Hans when he stumbled, reminding him of their shared history. Such was the depth of their engagement, a true testament to the power of this interactive tale. But the tale does not end with simple, one-on-one conversations. No, the real challenge, and perhaps the most thrilling part, was when three parties were involved in the dialogue. Here, the user's engagement reached new heights. One turn by the user could spark a series of exchanges between the characters, drawing the user deeper into their world. The characters, like skilled storytellers, could involve the user in their social dynamics, their tensions, and their conflicts. The game progressed not just by the actions of the user, but by the conversations that unfolded between the characters. Yet, with such complexity came the challenge of turn handling, a delicate dance that required both skill and patience. And so, we reach the end of our tale, where the lessons learned are woven into the fabric of future stories. The NICE system has shown us a framework for developing computer games, where speech is not just an added feature, but the user's primary means of progression through the story. Its modular architecture allows for collaboration across lands and seas, bringing together minds from different places to create something truly magical. The game engine, with its low-level and high-level APIs, is a powerful tool. But like all great tools, it requires careful handling and a touch of creativity. Yet, as with any tale, there is always more to explore, more to discover. The making of game characters that engage in storytelling spoken interactions is still a challenge that lies ahead, waiting for the next group of adventurers to take it on.